Hi there, it's Amy here, and I wanted to come on and do a little bonus video for my Align and Design course that I'm running. We are over halfway through, and this week is on persistence. So for me, my example is actually one of failure. The 4 components for persistence, how to develop persistence, that is from this chapter, is, I'm going to share them really quick because it'll help you to understand what happened with me this week. So first is a definite purpose backed by a burning desire for its fulfillment, a definite plan expressed in continuous action, a mind closed tightly against all negative and discouraging influences, and a friendly alliance with one or more people that will encourage you to follow both your purpose and your plan. So this weekend, I actually shared on my Instagram stories probably that I had manifested $1 because my daughter and I wanted suckers, and we were at a basketball game, and just realizing that we create our own reality. I looked around and I was like, is that a lost and found bin? Let's go like looking for money. And my daughter was appalled, but I'm like, I'm not gonna go dumpster diving. I'm just gonna grab that jacket right on top. Sure enough, it had $1 in it. We went to the concession stand and got 2 suckers. And like, I feel like that little bit is what I want to share with you, only on a more like huge scale. So one of my goals as part of my Align and Design course is to be like a world-renowned architect. And right now, all I see is my not having clients, not doing any work, not being able to afford to build a spec house, as an example. You know, I guess I'm looking around and I'm seeing all these things that I don't have, that are not equaling my plan, and I opened myself up to negative thoughts, and that was like the first problem. The second problem was I'm believing only the reality that is in front of me. And that's not how I want to believe. I want to create my own reality. I want to believe that just because I don't have, you know, a client and a prospective job on the horizon, it doesn't mean that I can't be this, you know, world-renowned architect. So, here's the story. Basically, I always go back to, well, how about if I design and build my own house? I don't need a client. I don't need someone else to, you know, put their trust in me, whatever. I'm just gonna create from my own imagination and design a home. And I came up with this idea based on Frank Lloyd Wright's Usonian house. It was basically this concept that he had that allowed for like the middle class, you know, average, low income even person to have a home that was designed by him, a famous architect at the time. This was later in his life. And he designed and maybe even built like 60 of these homes. The idea was that they were simple and cost effective, and the goal was that they were roughly like an annual salary of the person. So in 1939, that was like $5,000. And in 2019, it was about $95,000. So I thought that would be amazing if I could design a home and build it for $95,000 plus the cost of land. And I'm doing all this math. I'm thinking of all these like really clean, modern, like organic ideas, like what I absolutely love for home design. And I decided to pitch it to my husband, because without, you know, all the income on paper that a bank would require, I would need my husband to be, you know, buy into this idea. And he is very much a facts guy. He only he only sees the possibilities if they've already been proven. Definitely my opposite. And I made the mistake of presenting this to him because I knew what his response would be. And it was, you know, all the things. I don't have a steady income. I don't have a client. I don't, whatever, you know, you can list all the current situation statistics and that's fine. But I am not interested in the current statistics. I am interested in pursuing something with passion and trusting that it will work out. So, long story short, he had kind of convinced me that maybe I should go back to work. Maybe I should go work for an office. And so I gave that some thought. I went online and yeah, there's a couple firms actually in town that are hiring architects with my level of experience. And I thought about it, and then I thought, this is not consistent with my dream, with my purpose that I feel that I am pursuing right now. And some of that includes the freedom that I have to meditate in the middle of the day. Some of that includes being home with my kids when they get home from school. Some of that purpose that I'm fulfilling right now is making dinner for my family. And so with that said, I decided to take a deep breath. I gave it some thought, but I also didn't take my mind away from where I knew my mind would be and should be, and that is in creating my own reality and not just looking at the facts. And so I spent a day just doing fun things. I started sketching some crystals that I have and making cookies with my kids and making dinner and just doing the things that I would normally do. And in one of my meditations, I decided to do some inner voice work, which I talk about quite a bit. I asked, you know, myself or my higher consciousness, like, what should I, you know, do here? And the response that I got was, wait a day or two. Like, just wait. And it wasn't like wait indefinitely. I just felt like it was, you know, just wait a little while, just sit with this a minute. And so I did. You know, a day or two passed. This was like Saturday and Sunday were most of these discussions. Tuesday morning, 8:15 frickin' a.m., the phone rings, and it's an electrical contractor that I worked with on this last commercial project that was actually a little painful for me to make it through. And I'm like, this is not for me. But I answered the phone thinking maybe he has some issue that I need to help with, God forbid. And he actually had like a really easy project that he needed me to help with. And I did. And by like 1 o'clock, I had a check in hand for several $100s and the promise of another project or two on the horizon. And I'm like, it just reminded me how easy it was to create that dollar over the weekend. And it's just as easy for me to create $1,000 for, you know, this month's car payment and potentially a down payment for a new project. So with all that said, I really just want to remind you and my Align and Design people that persistence has these, you know, these 4 things that he talks about in here for persistence. They're all so important, but especially closing your mind to like that negative outside force. So Thank you.